Hi, I'm Bernard Smith. I started Full of Life Farm here on my parents' farm several years ago. This farm was purchased by my great-grandfather about 120 years ago. So it seemed like a logical place to start our farm here. It was about 2002, 2003 where I learned how processed food was affecting our health and my family's health. And it was back then that I started, we changed our diet and changed our health as a result. And I wanted to do something. I live in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and our farm's here in the Willamette Valley in Oregon. My parents still live on it right here in the main house, and my sister lives next door. And so this is our family farm. But we didn't have good meat down in the Bay Area, along with other kinds of food we didn't have, but I could do something about the meat part because we had the farm in our family. So we started raising grass-fed beef and pastured pigs here, and now of course I've got a couple other friends of mine that raise animals for me. But processed food, as I learned and I'm still learning, is responsible for a lot of the health ailments that we all have these days, like diabetes and heart disease and those things. And processed food doesn't just start in a factory. Processing can start out in the pasture, for example. For example, feeding a cow grain is a process that's completely unnatural to the cow. Cows' digestive systems are designed to eat grass, and they digest the grass and they manufacture the proteins from the fibrous grass. They don't eat starchy grains naturally. But humans came along and in the interest of causing the cow to grow fat fast to increase profits, we created a process to do that. That process is feeding grains to cattle. And that reduces the nutritional value of the meat. A lot of the proteins and omega-3 decline when you feed grains. So we wanted to eliminate processing from our food to give us robust health. And so we do that here on our farm and our friends' farms by sticking to diets that are natural to the animals. So our cows only eat grass, that's it. And what we found is they don't get sick, they don't get fat, they don't get disease, and they're just generally healthy. Give them clean air, sunshine, fresh grass, good water, and that's all they need, and they just take care of themselves. So in the summertime, my sister took a hay crop off earlier in July, and up on the upper pastures that we just walked by. And we've got these nice canyon pastures here that are good grazing in the summertime while we're letting the grass regrow up on top. And so that's what the cattle are here now, just grazing on completely wild grass. No, there's never been a chemical or a fertilizer put on any of these pastures here in this. So that's what we do with the cattle. We feed them the grass that's natural to them. With the pigs, you know, the process that's put in place for pigs these days, in a lot of cases, is a concrete floor in a building, high density pigs eating cheap feed, soybeans mainly, soybeans and corn, that results in the pork that we get in our grocery stores. And we do it different out here. First of all, we don't feed them soy or corn because of the genetic modification that goes on in those grains. We stay away from those. We feed mainly it's yellow peas, wheat, camelina seeds, flax seeds, alfalfa meal. That goes into their feed. We make our own feed, by the way. And then they're also running around on pastures, or we've got some brush back here that we put them in, so that they're outside, they exercise, they run around, they socialize. They're doing things that pigs like to do, and that generally does result in a lot better quality meat. You'll notice the difference in the flavor and the texture and the firmness of pigs that are raised right versus pigs that are raised on concrete in a factory. Hi, pigs. So you'll see we've got the pigs here in this old orchard. Pigs are great at rooting up old blackberry vines and kind of turning a brushy area into a nice green grass savanna. And these guys are in the process of doing that here in this part of the farm. Made them a little mud pit there to cool off on the hot days. This is pig heaven right here, in case you didn't know that. My great-grandfather purchased this farm in the late 1800s. It was around 1890, nobody knows for sure. And he raised sheep here back then. And he had a brother, Frank, who had meat stores in Portland, Oregon here. And my grandfather, Bernard, great-grandfather, Bernard, who I'm named after, would ferry his lambs to the Portland meat markets, and his brother Frank would sell them to the people in Portland. So we were a big meat supplier to the city of Portland back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And when he died, my great-grandfather Walter continued the sheep operation, and for several years running he was recognized as having the highest producing flock of sheep in the state of Oregon. In 1958, my dad was a junior in high school, I believe, when his dad died, and he wasn't ready to take over the farm, but he did after high school. So from 1960 through several years ago. So after 1960, my dad converted the farm to a crop farm, and he raised mostly commodity crops like wheat and green beans, and he put in the filbert trees that we see in some of the orchards around here. And that's the farm that I grew up on as a kid here. So as our business has grown, you know, we don't want to give up the small farm philosophy, because then we wouldn't be able to provide the quality that is my main goal. So we've fueled our growth and allowed ourselves to serve customers in the San Francisco area and the Los Angeles and San Diego areas, not by putting more animals through our farm, but by having a couple other small farms raise the animals for us. And in doing that, we've provided them a steady source of income as well to support those small farms. So that model of networking together a group of small farms is the model that we're going after, the model that supports our business. So I hope you enjoyed our little farm tour here today. Thanks for watching our video. If you have any questions about the way we raise our animals or the products that we sell, feel free to give me a call or email me, and feel free to watch the other videos on our website. Have a great day. Thanks.